Ex-Google has lost an appeal against a more than €2 billion fine imposed by the European Commission in 2017 for antitrust practices. The tech giant had been found guilty of favouring its own shopping services.
The General Court finds that by favouring its own comparison shopping service on its general results pages through more favourable display and positioning, while relegating the results from competing comparison services in those pages by means of ranking algorithms, Google departed from competition on the merits.
Now, the huge fine was imposed 4 years ago following several complaints by European and US competitors. Google slammed the decision at the time as, quote, wrong on the law, the facts and the economics. However, it complied with the ruling and changed the way its shopping services work. The fine was one of 3 antitrust penalties, totalling more than €8 billion against Google. Although today's ruling can still be appealed at the European Court of Justice, the bloc's highest court. Meanwhile, the EU is working on toughening its legislation to ensure fairer competition on its territory. The Digital Markets Act, if approved, would restrict self-preferencing and target advertising in an effort to bring more privacy to users. Let's talk about this more with Yaya Cohen, who's an internet law expert and social media lawyer. Welcome back to RT. Has Google got a point? Is this fine based on a misinterpretation of the law?
Absolutely not. Clearly, the fine is overdue. It's taking nearly 15 years for this case to be concluded. It's not been concluded yet. There is one final opportunity of appeal for Google. But you know, I was thinking, people were watching this program are thinking, you know, what has it got to do with me? Why do I care that Google has been fined, has not been fined? But this is why it is so important. And it really affects every one of us, because if Google operates a comparison website and doesn't allow any other comparison website to compete, the situation that Google creates is that because Google takes a cut of every time when you use a comparison website, and you click, say, on a travel agency to book a flight, Google will take a cut of that, of the fee that you pay. And once Google remains the only comparison website in town, Google will be able to oppress those businesses, those travel agents, those restaurants, those hotels, and say to them, you know, if you want to appear on our comparison website, you have to pay us a larger and a larger and larger and a larger cut of the fee that you receive. And once Google start oppressing them, they're not going to stop there. They're going to start oppressing small businesses as well. So the EU consideration here is not just about a competition and something that doesn't really affect, you know, people who are not perhaps.
I was going to say, but as you've explained, I mean, it's a Byzantine process that goes on, and even though we're 30 years into the internet existing, it still feels like laws are catching up with our digital economy. So therefore, do you think Google might have a chance of overturning this ruling based on current laws?
It is very difficult to tell. My belief is that on basis of current law, Google shall not be able to overturn this decision. There could be another reason why the decision might be overturned, and that is lobbying. Google has been investing huge amount of money in lobbying in the EU. And there could be a situation where the decision is being overturned on the basis of Google lobbying. For example, the EU might say, you know what, we will not pursue you any longer because of your final appeal. But my belief here is that this is it for Google, and from now on, the door is now open for other anti-competitive legal actions against Google by the European Union, and that will fall. So, yeah, please,
I was going to say, when we get these fines, they sound eye-watering, 2.4 billion, though, but to a company like Google, is it punitive or is it pocket change?
Well, it is punitive in the sense that Google's reputation is being harmed, but it's also punitive in the sense that it opens the floodgate to other type of legal action, not just within the EU, but also in the US, also in Australia, in Canada, and also it will support those companies that had been damaged and harmed by Google's anti-competitive behavior. It will support their own private legal action that they are taking against Google to compensate them, provided they have survived for this enormous damage that Google has caused them pretty much deliberately.
And just briefly, why do you think the EU is coming down so hard on US tech companies?
The reason that the EU is coming down hard on those companies is because really the EU is there to protect to protect consumers. It is there for the people. And the reason why the EU now has to take action is precisely because consumers' interests are being harmed, innovation is being harmed, business interest is being harmed. The EU cannot accept a situation where the internet is left for four or five American giants with no possibility of any European company to compete.
Sure. As you know, as you said, they're a powerful lobby. Cohen, good to talk to you again. Thanks for joining us.